Welcome to Resolutions Design again. My name is Edwin Anthony. I am back, but this time, hey, you guys remember that I told you I was going to invest on this whole camera thing. You guys haven't heard from me in a while. So anyway, if you're new to this channel, this is my first on-face video, introducing myself for the first time, and also bringing up a topic that I want to share with you guys, how I quit my job and started off with my own e-commerce so that you too can quit your job too. All right, let's get right to it, okay? I've tried to make this story very short and inspirational. That's the whole point of this, okay? All right, so I used to work at this company, right? A multi-million-dollar company. I'm not going to say who it is because they had me sign some forms, right? So I started off with this company many years ago. And you know how they say in the corporate world, you start to kind of like climb the corporate ladder, start to kind of like get some promotions here and there, redirect and move to different locations and all that good stuff, right? Climb the corporate ladder. And it was a scenario where I was like, hey, you know what? I'm in one of these meetings and you're sitting next to these CFOs, you're sitting next to these very important people. And, you know, I'm sure you guys can relate, right? Maybe, maybe not, but you're in an important meeting. If you're sitting in that meeting, I said to myself, hey, you know what? This is a multi-million-dollar company. They hired me, right? And they were like asking for my input on things that were important for the company. And I was been there for a while, so obviously I'm of value. And I said to myself, well, what happens if I take that same knowledge and apply it to something of my own? Now, of course, I wasn't going to leave my company cold turkey. You know, what happened was that I started off and I discovered Shopify. I'm like, okay, here is an e-commerce store. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me see what's selling. So what ended up happening was that, I don't know if you guys remember like the whole Kim Kardashian thing with like the belts and the waist trainers when there was like really popping. I think it was back in 2013-ish. It was a craze, right? You guys remember that? All right. So I was like, let's become a part of that. Let me see what deals I could make. And I started making some contacts as far as who's selling what, you know, how can I get it cheap, or if there's any local manufacturers that could get it for me. And I found a good warehousing location that's what they did, got a good price of it, and I started building my store in Shopify. So I built it. I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just put this template together, whatever, right? The pictures that I used were some pictures from Instagram, some pictures online. You guys get it, right? And then it just started like slowly kind of creeping in. At first, maybe one or two sales here and there. It really wasn't a big deal. I was like, I'm not sure if this is going to work out. Thank goodness for my full-time job, right? Well, next thing you know, you start making deals with some influencers and start lowering prices, offering free shipping. I'm kind of like tweaking this out. Now, my Monday through Friday isn't like 9 to 5 anymore. It's the 9 to 5, but then once I get home, you know, you eat something, whatever, then it's e-commerce. And I was going to bed like close to almost 1 o'clock in the morning from those hours after work. And then the weekends, it was like, you know, no more going out, no more doing anything. It was just like, let's just do this e-commerce all day. Long story short, what ended up happening was that one day sales were phenomenal. And things were just growing and growing and growing. Because remember, that trend was like super popping, right? And I went up to my boss and I said, hey, listen, you know, I need to speak to you. He also said that he kind of needed to speak to me too. We sat down and he goes, you know, you first. I opened up my laptop and I says, look, you remember that I told you I was kind of doing this side hustle with the e-commerce thing? He's like, yeah, how's that going for you? And I says, look at these numbers. And I flipped over and I'm like, I forgot when payday was. You know, and mind you, at this company, I was making very good money. It was good money to like sustain myself, you know, decently. And my boss at the time was like, hey, I was ready to kind of like give you a promotion and a raise type of thing. And I was just like, you know, just pay attention to these numbers. You know, I don't really, it's like, whatever it is that you guys are paying me, I'm doing this stuff part-time. Imagine if I could do this full-time. That being said, here's my resignation letter. 2 weeks notice. He was like, all right, okay, no problem. Afterwards, you know, it kind of like sunk in a little bit. And he was like, hey, listen, I think it would be great if we had lunch. We went to lunch. He goes, look, I've been trying to get out of here for like, I don't know how long, out of this company for the longest time, and I have never found a way to get out of here. You know, it's so cold. It's just ridiculous. I want to do what you do for the sole fact of not just getting out of this company, but also so that I could live next to my family back in New Zealand. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. I mean, if I could do this, I want to test out my theory as if I could build stores. I want to test out my theory to see if it works on him too. So you know what he ends up selling? He ends up wanting to sell, leather belts, leather shoes, leather wallets. And so we got our things together, built him his store. Guess what happened to him? He also resigned. Now, I'm not saying that that could happen to anyone. I'm simply saying that after I started my business, I immediately used that same formula to create someone else's business. And then I realized that there's a trend going on. And that trend is I like to build websites. I like to build businesses so that people can establish some type of a freedom, of independence. Remember, this didn't happen immediately. This took me at least 6 months. So I still had my main job while I was doing this on the side. Now, goodness, that my main job allowed me not only to feed myself, to feed, the rent at the time and pay the bills and all that stuff, but I wasn't using the leisure money anymore. I was using that leisure money to feed the business so that within those 6 months, it grew, that eventually I said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm gonna do this full time and then just double the payment as whatever revenue that I was getting at the time. Then what happened? As the business took off, I said, you know what? Let me just get rid of this business. You know how they say cash out high, and then use that as capital for Resolutions Design. That's how I got here as a founder of Resolutions Design. I started the business as Resolutions Design to help other businesses have that dream. I've built other websites ever since then, moved to Miami, started doing the headquarters over there, established another hub location in Orlando, Florida. And here we are making videos for you guys so that you guys can also have that dream and also leave your company or just have some money on the side. Well, that was a short story. I made it 7 minutes long. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I will try to make other videos like this that are not too long and straight to the point. Tell me, what do you think? Are you currently right now working at a job where you're trying to leave? Or you're like, you know what? I'm fed up with this job. I don't want to be here anymore. I understand the frustration. That's where I come from. I'm not one of these guys that are like, be a millionaire. No, it ain't about that. It's about independentizing yourself. Like, I don't know if I said that right. To become independent. Become independent, work for you. You have the knowledge. The company that hired you, it's for a reason. There's value. You have value. So why give that value to another company? Why don't you give it to your own company? All right, guys, I will be pushing tons of motivational videos as well as how-tos in the upcoming weeks, months, hopefully to help you guys out. If you guys have any questions, again, put it in the comments. If you guys want to leave your company, put it in the comments. If you guys already have a story similar to this, I want to hear it too. Or if you guys are stuck, you have no idea how to get out of there. You're like, oh, so how did you kind of like fund your business while still paying all the... There has been some strategies that I've done in order to kind of like gain that capital to build the business. So if you have questions, leave them down at the comments. Thank you very much. And please, if you're new to this channel, subscribe, because that's how I was able to get this camera to like put my face. I only have like right now, if you're watching this video, it's only like 2.2. It's a little bit, but I like it. It's good. It allowed me to get the camera, look at my fat face. It allowed me to get in front of the screen and to make this video for you guys, okay? All right. Hope to see you soon. Thanks again.